And we're back here. Second hour main event. Bruce Cooper, the legend from Channel 12.
And Westwood.
34-ish years then. Yeah, he takes credit for Randy Bennett and his success he's about to have at ASU. He played with him at Westwood. You were before him, right?
Before him.
So you were a couple years before. You take credit for Randy Bennett's dad over there at MCC dominating. This is all off-air stuff, folks. Just to know what we have to deal with this egomaniac over here. Danny White. He wasn't even alive when Danny White was at Westwood. No. Danny White obviously was before you, but was he or after you? I'm sorry,
look, Danny White. I mean, his pictures and accolades, they adorn the locker rooms at
still
at Westwood.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. He was that dude.
Yeah.
So everyone knew who he was just by walking in.
I saw Richard Oper just did a high school. We'll get back to Cardinals in a second, but Richard Oper just did a top 10 like in the state. He included track and field people and stuff. He had Danny White number 1 of all time, best athletes.
Is that right?
In the state, I think he was 1 or 2. I think he was 1 in his reporting there as well, which it shouldn't shock me because
don't bury the lead. Where was Hillis?
Yeah, well, I kept scrolling after 10. He had track and field guys in there,
I think I was
like
11. Cool.
Yeah, exactly. Is that what it was? Yeah. I don't know. You know what? I didn't. I haven't seen Richard since that came out. I missed the last Rattlers game and everything, so I haven't seen Richard, so I don't know. Next time I'll see him, I'll have to ask him.
Yeah.
Hey, out of curiosity, where'd you have Helter on that list? Yeah, Danny White. But see, Danny White was before my time. I know he was with the Cowboys when I was cognizant of football and stuff like that. But you go back and read those stories, man. Just like you said,
Well, he was a full sports star too, right?
The dude, like he was just dominant and things to that effect. So I just found that interesting. But going back to the Cardinals here, we were talking the Michael Bidwell side of it, and that's just the easiest thing to fix is the hiring process. If you know what you're doing, and getting the right people in there. But then the other problem, of course, we got is they're reporting tomorrow and everything. First practice on Thursday. I said earlier in the show, Coop, I said the narrative coming out of this training camp is going to be, 3 things. Love is going to, Jeremiah Love in just regular shorts and everything or shells. He's going to do some things during practice where people are going to lose their minds about, right? He's going to make some move and everybody's going to be like, oh, Jeremiah Love looks fluid, which is fantastic. That's what you want to hear. You're going to hear about the quarterback position, right? Whether Jacoby's there, Jacoby watch. Whether Beck is there, everything Beck does is going to be magical, at the same time. We're going to have to deal with that. But then the thing that I'm not looking forward to around training camp is I think we're going to hear every practice is how great Marvin Harrison Jr. looks and how dominant he is. And this is his season, and you can see it in training camp. And that narrative right there is going to drive me nuts. Not because I want him to fail or anything like that. We've heard that the last 2 training camps and then nothing when the football season starts. So I don't want to hear it this year.
Yeah. Well, look, just to piggy off the Marvin Harrison thing, I have to believe, and I truly do believe this will be his breakout year.
Yeah, you said that.
You cannot put together the type of career that he did at Ohio State, and then have your dad, that DNA. That Hall of Fame DNA, that it doesn't take root somewhere. I mean, it just has to. He's just too skilled and too talented.
Goop, this world is littered with kids of superstar athletes that haven't done anything.
It is, but
aspect.
But what he did at Ohio State, and look, if it fails to manifest itself this year, I think the Cardinals should just cut ties.
Well, they have to decide this year if you're going to pick up his 5th-year option or whatever.
Yeah. And so I just got to believe it is. I mean,
is that hope? Is that hope, or are you basing that on something?
Well, I'm just
that sounds like hope.
I'm just basing on the fact that some of the games that I watch, and I know Dale made some very astute points in that. The kid was pretty much running free in the secondary, and so he's catching the ball
at Ohio State.
Unabated.
Unabated. Thank you, Dan. Yeah. And so now that he gets to the NFL, he's being tightly contested.
He's dropping wide open passes too, though.
And so and there's no question that he's dropped too many of those. I mean, that's the most astounding part about this to me is the balls that just hit him in his hand with no one in his zip code or
Right.
area code.
Well, let me ask you this. I mean, Dale can probably talk more about this than I can, but my question is this. Now you got a new coaching staff in here, new system he's got to learn. If he struggled with the last regime in year 2, being in it for 2 years, he's got a new system now. I'm going to say a more complicated offensive system on top of it. You expect him to improve in this idea of it as well?
Steve, the system has nothing to do with him dropping wide open
No.
passes. I mean,
Well, it does if he's thinking too much, which is what I've heard about. Oh, he's just out there thinking. Well, he
Well,
shouldn't be thinking.
I'm going to say.
well, he thought very well to get open.
Right.
And
the thing about catching open passes is, and so you know this, Coop, so much about sports, you can be the biggest, strongest, fastest dude out there, but what's going on here?
Yeah, there's something.
You
there.
know,
That's what I
what's
said.
going on here? And that is, if I'm having to take a guess, because he's 6'4", he's whatever he is,
He's
215
so
pounds.
much bigger than his dad.
Yeah,
He's ripped, too. So he should be able to get any ball from a defender.
And he is open a lot, and all those things. So then, to me, it comes down to this,
Yeah.
and what's going on in there, because you know this.
Yeah.
You actually told me the story, Coop, when you missed that first shot
Yeah.
in the basketball game.
Confidence.
It messed you up for most of the game.
Yeah.
And I've had games like that to where I've been missing bunny, and it's like, what in the hell? Or a golf course and miss a 3-foot putt and go, oh my gosh, now you're standing over the next one. Right here, I think, is the big thing. Now, is this year 4 for him or year 3?
Year 3.
Yeah.
Year 3, okay.
Yeah.
And so,
That's why they have to decide on his 5th-year option. this
Absolutely.
year, I
and,
believe.
and so that's where I am, because and you talked about it. I mean, each year, as I got from my freshman to my sophomore, I was more confident. From my sophomore to my junior year, more confident. From my junior to my senior, hey, I know I'm that dude.
Yeah.
I know. And so I just have to believe that and that's mental. It had anything to do with physical. It was
No.
mental. And so I just got to believe that's the next step for him.
Right.
Yeah, I just got to.
But that's what worries me. Normally you see a confidence, if anything, he might not have regressed last year, but he didn't improve at all. So where do you get that confidence from? How do you go from whatever confidence he had to now with the new coaching staff, with the new system, and things to that? That's what I'm worried about.
Well, for me, it's at the end of each season, you kind of reflect back, and then you realize that, hey, I made that step. And then you're working
Yeah.
harder in the next season to build up on what you did. And again, this is a big year for him. And if it doesn't,
It's make or break year.
Yeah. And that's
Re-
crazy
receivers-
to say about it. He was the number 4
4.
overall pick in the entire draft.
Receivers that don't fulfill their first year and live up to a certain level generally don't make it in the league after that. There's a long guys. It's not. They're not reclamation projects. Now, guys that come up and play well and then struggle, they can be reclamation projects. So it's a big year for him from that perspective. You can't tell me he's not thinking about it. I hope you're right. God, I hope you're right, Coop. It's just I'm not going to pay attention to it until first game of the season when he does out
And
there.
let me tell you one other thing that I'm kind of anxious might not be the right word, but I'm kind of excited to see, because this also happened to me. I was a pretty hard worker in high school. I did what I needed to do to play football and basketball. Then I get to SMU and realize I didn't do diddly. I had to relearn what working was. Yeah. And then I got that down by my junior and senior year, and then I get to Buffalo, and I'm like, there's a whole nother level of doing this, and maybe it's taken him 2 years to figure that out. And we can hope for the best, and I'm going to hope for the best until he proves me that it's not the best.
I just don't want to see what he did last year, where he was an anchor on this offense. After Wilson stepped up, he was an anchor on this offense and stifled the rest of the receivers out there. I don't want to see that happen. Go out there and struggle and learn your craft, whatever, fine. But he was an anchor last year as that season went on.
Well, here's the deal. I think, and this is just me, I think when he came in, he was looked at as that number one option, that number one go-to guy, the guy.
He was going to be he's Larry Jr.
He couldn't handle it.
Yeah.
And so now, as we morph now into year 3, because again, year 2 is much like year 1, he's not even that number one option anymore.
Right.
That Trey McBride's taking over that
Oh,
number
yeah.
one option.
Oh yeah.
He might not even be two.
Yeah, and Michael
That's-
Wilson. And then here's the deal: they drafted some kid named Jeremiah Love, who is very adept at catching the ball in the backfield.
Right.
And we already know that LaFleur. Watch what they did in the Rams, throwing to Kyron Williams out of the backfield and Blake Corum out of the backfield. They're going to use their backs out of the backfield. So all of a sudden, the pressure he may have felt, he doesn't. He won't feel anymore because he's not
that's what
now
I'm
looked
hoping.
at that as that guy, and so he can just run fluidly and try.
They said
Okay.
they said he's going to be the X receiver, but that's my hope. Really quick is it's just that the pressure's off of him. Wilson, and the Love and the tight end are going to be the main guys. You just go do what you're going to do, and we'll find you.
Well,
That takes
the
the
other
pressure
thing that brings with it, and again, this is something I know personally because Alvin Harper was on our Dallas Cowboys team.
I remember that dude, number 80.
Yeah, unbelievable two receiver behind Michael Irvin.
Mm-hmm.
Unbelievable because he would always get the weaker cornerback, usually single coverage because everybody's trying to take Michael out of the game. And Alvin shined. Signed with Tampa Bay for big money. He's supposed to be number one. He wasn't a number one. Didn't have the personality. Didn't have that's my football when it's in the air. And now think about that. You got to make sure Trey McBride's covered. You got to remember, Wilson's got to be covered.
Mm-hmm.
Love, you got to check on him, and I don't know if a linebacker can stay with him, even a fast linebacker. And now all of a sudden there's this Marvin Harrison. Well, who's he going against? He's going against McCollum or Hellestray or Cooper, in single coverage. Maybe that does open his eyes and all those things.
I would just hang back and let him let the ball be thrown to him. And my job will be done. Then after he drops it, I'll just point and I'll just celebrate. I'm just kidding. I really do, and that's the big story for me. I mean, there's other storylines running back, but is Marvin Harrison going to be that dude?
Yeah, quarterback's going to be the one that people are going to watch a lot about. And I just think that, so many people I'm just hearing, they think Carson Beck is that dude. I mean, we got to find out. We got to find out, give him. I'm like,
that's me, Coop.
I'm like at this point here, look, I have seen the Cardinals spend number one picks with a guy named Matt Leinart, a guy named Josh Rosen, a guy named Kyler Murray. And so then I look.
Josh Rosen.
Yeah, then I look across the league, and I see people like Baker Mayfield taking 1 overall, Sam Darnold 3 overall, and they never made it with their teams, but they've had success when they went to other organizations that put better players around them. I'm telling you, the Cardinals now have some playmakers around whoever they put under center.
I agree.
And I'm really excited for that because they don't have all that pressure. But then here's the deal. How good is that defense going to be? Because, look, you can go back and look at Tom Brady, as great as he was. I mean, there's seasons and Super Bowls that he's won because their defense.
Oh,
stood up.
interception at the 1 yard line, yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean,
for an
that's
example.
still and so, do the Cardinals have that type of personnel on their defensive side of the field? Because again, I know a lot of people have. I think you pointed out where Vegas doesn't have the Cardinals favored in any game.
Yeah.
In 17.
No, they're 1 point. Last I looked, it's been a couple weeks, but they're even a dog to the Jets
Yeah.
At
at
home.
1 point
Yeah.
at home. Yeah,
Yeah, and-
that's late in the season. And double digit. At the beginning of the season, it's double digit down underdogs on top of it. Yeah.
Yeah, and so I'm just saying that I don't think this Cardinals team is as bad as what Vegas thinks. Because if you really
agree with that.
if you look at last season, they're 2-0 before they go on this 3-game losing streak in a row in which they would walk off. They very well, if they had a defense that could have made that one play, they could have been 5-0 and down. If you're 5-0, the mentality of everything is different. So the Cardinals aren't that bad as Vegas says they are. And so, but I do feel that they need to have that quarterback situation figured out. And I, for the life of me, and I know the Cardinals, I saw that this under the cap deal. Cardinals are way, way, way under the cap.
I want to say right now I think they're 30 million, but next year Dale looked it up before. It's like 150 or 130 million next year.
But it's not like.
But they can't
It's
sign
not
people
like-
in free
it-
agency.
It's not like Jacoby Brissett is asking for $30 million.
No, well,
I mean, come
allegedly.
on. And I just can't believe that we find ourselves on the eve of report day.
Right.
If they can't
It's
solve
terrible.
this situation,
It's
just,
terrible.
it's unbelievable.
Does anybody think, and maybe we'll be surprised, does anybody think that today's the day where the Cardinals and Jacoby are going to be like, all right, we're good. I'll report tomorrow with my new deal?
But tell me this, and we've asked, at least I've asked this question, I think all three of us have for months. What is Jacoby asking for?
Yeah.
I don't know, but here's the deal. Someone floated this out to me. Coop, I just think the Cardinals don't want to bring him back because they want to get a top 3 pick in the draft. They want to really suck this year. And I'm like, dude.
Cardinals are tanking, Coop.
I said, okay, let's say that they have a top 3 pick.
Yeah.
I just pointed out quarterbacks that are taken there
Yeah.
that they don't pan out. That's no.
It's Arch Manning and the Oregon quarterback is the top 2 right now.
Moore.
Yeah.
And look, I've watched Arch Manning play. Matter of fact, he had so much hype going into last year's season opener. He was a flat out dud. Fell on his face in that game.
I'm convinced he had a shoulder injury.
Well, whatever. Look. I think the dude is. And look, I'm not trying to say Arch Manning is not a talented player because that's not true. But I've seen him. I think he runs better than he throws at this point.
He throws that weird sidearm throw.
And right now he's living off that family name.
Mhm.
And I just don't know that he's that dude. And you talked about Dante Moore. Well, Dante Moore, I didn't know this. He had some personal tragedy within his family, so he's been seeing a psychiatrist since high school, and things like that. So who knows what's going on there? And then there's other quarterbacks
Right.
out there. Look,
Guys from Oregon Oregon quarterbacks don't translate in the NFL very well
well, yeah,
in general.
And then you have Julian Sayin from another Ohio State quarterback. You have Lenore Sellers from Mississippi State. But the guy I like,
Here comes Coop.
I really like. I like Trinidad Chambliss from
His
Ole Miss.
his problem. I agree with you on that. His problem is Ole Miss is taking a big step back this year, I think, and it's just he's not going to get that spotlight, which is going to automatically put him down into a second or third round type quarterback spot. They have to dig himself out of for the draft.
If you think he's going to drop like that, I still see him as a first rounder no matter what. I mean, I think Sam Levitt's more of that second or third round type guy that you're speaking of.
We'll see
on
the basketball court.
So let me tell you, the one thing you said, you brought up Sam Darnold, you brought up Baker Mayfield. Who were the teams that drafted those two?
Again, that's where you're going.
The Jets and the Browns.
Cleveland Browns, right. And
Are you telling me that the Cardinals aren't right in with those two? Do you think they're slightly above?
I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that at all. I mean, if Cleveland and the Jets. I mean, the Jets haven't had a quarterback since Joe Namath.
It's even worse for Sam
Cleveland
Darnold.
hasn't had one since Bernie Kosar.
Yeah, but
Right.
Sam Darnold goes from the Jets to the Panthers when they were barely winning any football games and stuff like that. It takes him to get to it all comes down to coaching, which is where I go back to the owner doesn't stay out of his way.
Well, he got again, but when Darnold wound up in Minnesota, they had some dude named Justin Jefferson there, and all of a sudden,
and a coach that's a quarterback whisperer.
Okay, you can say that, but I'm just telling you, it's all of a sudden. He had
you're
a guy
not
to
wrong.
throw to. If you look at Baker Mayfield,
Look at Kyler Murray this year.
at Tampa Bay, has some dude named Mike Evans.
Yeah.
Out there. I mean, it really does make a difference having some playmakers around. I mean, I think Buffalo is now saying that, hey man, we've been relying too much on Josh Allen to take us. Let's see if we can now bring him a receiver now. I mean,
Right.
And things like that. So
Buffalo's always had the wrong receivers.
yeah.
But I'm just saying,
Yeah.
so I don't think you can separate Jets, Browns, Cardinals
You can't-
right now.
You can't.
So you're talking about these guys next year. So you say you get the second or third pick in the draft
That's
next
my
year.
whole point.
Who's to say that they're going to flourish here?
That's my point
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah.
I mean, why would you want? I don't want to go down that road.
No.
So if you were that close to being 5-0, close to being 5-0, that means that if you bring back the team, put more better players around him, I think that you may be able to make that one play that you couldn't make the previous year.
Yeah.
And now
I agree with that.
between a win and a loss.
Troy Aikman, it's because of the talent around him. Troy's a great quarterback, but he wouldn't have been that quarterback right? Guys like you said, who was the 10th draft? Matt Leinart, right?
Mhm.
Not a lot of talent around him. Never was able to break out of it. Sam Rosen, same type of. Doesn't mean they would have, but you don't have a chance as a quarterback. Very rarely do you have a chance as a quarterback to be really successful with no talent. Archie Manning back in the day with the Saints was able to
Oh,
do
Yeah,
it.
but the
But
one
you
thing
don't get it too often.
I am going to correct you on that, Steve. The fact that yes, when you're talking about the USC quarterback, you just
Matt
slipped
Leinart.
my-
Matt Leinart.
Matt Leinart comes
Well,
here.
we can name a
guess
bunch
what?
of them.
Yeah, but guess what? There's a guy named Kurt Warner
Yeah.
who
Stole
took that
spot.
team to the
Yeah.
Super Bowl.
Yeah.
I know 8-8 or whatever they were.
I know. No, you're right.
but-
Well, that
Not-
was a fun
97.
team with Kurt Warner in there.
Nice.
But that's all my
but-
point is quarterbacks, not all of them. Kurt Warner was a special one. He had a lot of talent in St. Louis. Lack of
No.
talent here, but he still had talent here.
Kurt Warner had look. Kurt Warner had some dude named Larry Fitzgerald to throw to, Hall of Famer. Some dude named Anquan Bolden, who should be a Hall of Famer.
That's what I said. I
throw
wanted to see Coop
some
get
dude
mad,
named
Bruce.
Steve Breston, who wound up being the third receiver in that bunch to get 3,000 yards. And then he had, guess what? He had some Hall of Fame running back named Edgerrin
Yeah.
James.
Yeah.
That's the team that went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
Yeah.
And so, I mean, the fact that Matt Leinart was Captain Checkdown.
Yes.
That was his problem.
But that's what I'm saying. Not every quarterback, can step up and play well.
Sure.
But you have to have talent. Very, very few are like Kurt Warner. Very few are like, well, Kurt Warner struggled in New York before he came here.
Yeah.
Lack of talent there. So I firmly believe quarterbacks, even bad quarterbacks, will look good with a lot of talent around them. And like I said, that's why I expect Kyler Murray to have a jump up this year in
I think
Minnesota.
there's some guy named Trent Dilfer who was a first round bust until he wound up being in Baltimore, where they had the best defense led by Ray Lewis and company that won a freaking Super Bowl.
He made one
He
throw in
just
the
managed
Super
it,
Bowl,
yeah.
and it was the tight end, Shannon Sharp, for the touchdown. That's all he did. Otherwise, it was all defense.
Yeah.
It one play in a game
Yeah.
and to win a Super Bowl.
He's Super
No,
Bowl
but
champion.
I agree, and that's why you have to get the talent around. And the Cardinals are giving that up. Now they have to step up and things to that effect. But I mean, you're right. The quarterback position going into camp is a conversation because that's the problem. We know what we have with Brissett. We know what we have with Minshew. The shiny unknown is a very successful college quarterback. So people, hey, if we're going to win one or two games, let's just see what he's got out there. Don't get me wrong. If Brissett or Minshew go out there and win 7 games, you're not going to see back out there.
Well, and I'd rather if that's the mindset that I would like to go into. Give me a Brissett or give me a Minshew, whoever that veteran starter is, but you have to come in with a full cupboard. You can't.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
Be
But-
lingering on the sideline.
Yeah.
And so maybe I start off 5-0. Maybe I have that team that can make that play. If I don't, at the halfway point, that's when I can turn now to Carson Beck.
Yes, I agree.
But I don't want to. But but I have fans now that want to see Beck
Oh, yeah,
start.
start, yeah.
Dude,
No,
that would be the worst thing that could happen.
Yeah, then you're going over and whatever with that schedule.
And you are crippling him.
Yeah,
Right.
that's the problem.
Because
Corey
there
Gatsby,
are very few quarterbacks who can get the living snot beat out of them their rookie year and come back like Troy did.
Yeah.
But he's one of the few that got beat up like that and then still came back.
The other thing I'm looking forward to at training camp is one health. But you brought up the defense. I believe at the beginning of last year, I'm going to separate the first half of the season from the second half. I believe the Cardinals defense just got tired at end of games. So a lot of those three, all they needed was one stop. They were exhausted because they were constantly on the field in the first half. So when the fourth quarter came, they were exhausted. The other team's offense was fresh and stuff to that.
Steve,
So I think
early in the season, I don't know if I can buy that.
Okay.
Yeah.
That was early in the season.
I was at the game, Scoop.
But look, it's a one. The Cardinals would have a 1 or 2 point lead.
I
'Cause
agree.
It's a field goal
I
that
agree.
beats them.
I agree.
You need to make one.
That's
freaking
an
play.
offensive problem. That's what I'm getting at. So then you got to rely on a defense that was out there a long time. I'm not saying they shouldn't have done it, but I believe that was part of it. I'll tell you this. I think that's why the defensive coordinator came back, is because within that organization, they were like, we got talent on this defense. Just they got worn out at the end of games.
I think here's my take on this. Number one, Are all the defensive linemen healthy going into tomorrow, or do we have any pulled calves?
Well, I think Walter Nolan, Darius Robinson.
Big year for Darius.
They're both
Big year for
healthy.
Darius.
Darius, I've been reading Darius's his career's on the line for
Yeah.
training camp if he doesn't perform
and they
well.
went and they brought in Roy Lopez.
Yeah,
former,
back. And Roy Lopez is an interesting one because I said
Mm-hmm.
last year they took the heartbeat of this team away with Roy Lopez going to the Detroit and the linebacker number 6, Kazir White, who was just a hard hitter, and stuff that they didn't bring those two guys back, and like the heartbeat went away on the defense
And that
last
long-haired
year.
guy.
Yes. Oh my gosh, I just forgot. He went to Jacksonville. I forgot
Dennis
his name.
Gardeck.
Yeah, so they took away the heartbeat there. So bringing Roy Lopez back, hopefully we get some of that
Yeah,
heartbeat
and
back.
then they bring Andrew Billings back, another one
Yeah.
of these big pluggers in the middle, and Dante Steele. And so look, like their whole defensive line is healthy. Mac Wilson, who has been their quarterback at linebacker,
Mm-hmm.
guy that calls shots. I mean, he missed a lot of time last
You're
year.
getting
so
some of
he-
those safeties
so-
back.
Yeah, so he's back healthy. Will Johnson, who fell to him in the second round, I mean, he's a corner. I think he can be their shutdown number one corner if he can stay healthy. Again,
Right.
the Cardinals are starting to collect some talent on both sides of the ball. I'm more excited about what they have on the offensive side of the ball. But
Who? So let's do this. Who do you think is going to be their quarterback starting the year? Who do you honestly think
For the regular season?
for the regular season?
if he's in camp, Jacoby Brissett. If not, then it's Gardner Minshew.
Okay.
It won't be Carson Beck.
I agree. I hope that's the case.
Yeah.
I'm the biggest Carson Beck fan on the planet, and I want to see what he can do. But I also am a realist, and you can't put him out there until you've lost 5-6 games, and you have no hope for the future, because that'll give you hope moving forward. The other thing to watch, it would be the running back position. We haven't talked about it all. They have an influx of them.
Well, to me, it's a no-brainer. It's Love Algier, and if you want to pick
Who?
up something for James Conner, maybe you can deal him because there's some teams that they're going to need some backs. If not, then he's my third running back. I may bring him in. I already have Algier can do short yardage and goal line. If I want to, throw a bone to Connor, but Connor's best years are behind him. He's on the other side of 30.
Yeah.
And so I don't need to fool around with that. I mean, I'm going with I got a home run guy in Love. I got that power back short yardage guy in Algier who can also catch the ball out of the backfield. So unless barring injury, I don't think running back's an issue.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, Trey has no chance to make this team, is what you're hoping?
Trey Benson, Trey Benson, his best bet is to see if he can outmaneuver or outplay Connor for that third spot.
Right.
Otherwise, I'm sliding him at 4.
I think they're going to favor Connor just because of what he's done coming off the injury. They know where he's at. I think they're going to favor Connor over everybody else except for Love and Algie because they're the free agent signings. I think they're going to favor him just for that side of it as well. So those are just kind of the things that'll be fun to watch during camp here that they report
that's
tomorrow.
Fun. I mean, look, you now have something that the Cardinals haven't had for a couple of years. A running game. I mean, James Conner has been their running game. I know a lot of people are looking at Jacoby Brissett and saying, "Oh, look, Jacoby, at least he can find Trey McBride." I mean, Trey had
Wilson.
9 touchdowns. He says Kyler couldn't find. Look, the year that McBride had over 100 receptions but 0 touchdowns, James Conner had like
He was-
18 touchdowns.
Yeah, it was his best running back
He
year.
had like 15 rushing, 3 receiving.
But-
So I mean, I'm not here to root for one particular player. If I get in the end zone, I don't give a rat's
Right.
behind who it is.
But you're also forgetting that year that Connor had that great running year. The offensive line was fairly good.
Okay.
And now they've improved that this year, I believe. We'll have to wait and see. We'll get the analysis from Dale throughout the season. But they've improved it on paper.
On paper, they have.
They've improved it, so-
and I'm anxious to see. I'm hearing a lot about Josh Fryer, former undrafted Ohio State Buckeye,
Yeah.
who played with Paris Johnson at OSU.
Mhm.
And
Line mates.
I hear that when Paris went down, Fryer stepped in and played extremely well. So now they're putting him out at right tackle.
That's their problem
And-
spot,
and
right
so
tackle.
he's at right tackle. along with, I guess, maybe Elijah Wilkinson, who they brought back, who played right tackle, started, I guess, 15, 16 games for the Bears a year ago.
Right.
So I'm looking at that spot on the offensive line, and they drafted Chase Besantis with their second-round pick, but I'm hearing some dude named Isaiah Adams, who they drafted in, I believe, the fourth round.
They're high on Isaiah Adams.
He played extremely well last year, and so Besantes may not beat him out because you went and signed Isaac Seumalo from the Steelers to be that left. So the left side.
He's your left side.
So the left side of your line is set. You're at center, from center to the left to the tackle. You're set with Frohold, Seumalo, and Paris Johnson. At right guard, it's either going to be Adams or Besantes, and right now I'm hearing it's Adams. I mean, and it's not close. So right tackle's really the only unknown spot, but or unsettled. That's good word. But for everything I'm hearing about Josh Fryer, and keep in mind his position coach, Justin Fry,
right?
That was his guy at Ohio State. He was the offensive line coach at Ohio State.
Wasn't it you last year, Dale, that had a problem with the offensive line coach? Not a problem, but you were questioning.
Well, I questioned the move of Adams to Dallas because the Cowboys'
Clayton
offense
Adams,
went.
Yeah, Dale was the first one to bring that up. Then everybody else kind of started jumping on it after that.
He was. And that was very astute from Dale.
Yeah, and so it's not necessarily the Ohio State.
He doesn't make many good points, but that's a very good point.
I'm going to say I'm going to leave the show because Coop has called me astute 2 times in this show.
Autumn chimes in on the YouTube chat and says, my ex-mother-in-law worked in the front office for the Cardinals before they moved to Arizona. She always spoke wonderfully about the culture and the environment. Bill Bidwell Foster, the dad, of course.
Hey, let me tell you something.
Stuff,
Bill, when it came to community philanthropic work,
unbelievable, man.
Mr. B, he's top drawer. He really was. His problem was that a lot of the other owners, they had their wealth outside of the team.
Well,
Mr. B's wealth came from the team, and so now that the league has grown to the point with those major big contracts from TVs and things like that, they don't struggle like that anymore. As a matter of fact, Michael, who's come in, has grown their wealth to the point to where, hey, look, it's all good and good, but he's absolutely right. Mr. B, I mean, he was famous for giving blacks, executive positions.
Yeah.
I can tell you about a lady named Adele Harris. She was like those kids' second mother. I mean, you heard all these stories growing up, and she was a black woman. So Mr. B, he was, I mean, and always giving to the community.
And he did it quietly. He did it quietly.
He did.
It wasn't look at me.
And the thing that was his big albatross was that they just couldn't win.
The football field side of it.
Yeah.
Well, but I look back at that now and I go, the NFL left him behind because he was an old school owner where it was a family owned, and then all of a sudden you get the Jerry Jones buying in, and that stuff where they could just spend, like you said, spend all this money. He's like, I can't do that. That's not the way we operate.
Well, especially back then, it'd be interesting to see if he was an owner now.
Yeah. But he also, because the revenue at the stadium wasn't what Jerry Jones was getting, even with the old stadium and stuff to that. And that's what I would like to see on that, because it's just what we got now is, but that's the problem with sports today, if I may digress on this. It's a concentration on making your wealth bigger. You can win without winning on the field. And
what would be fascinating to see is Mr. B, Big Bill, getting a check every April to cover all his expenses, and how does he handle that? That would be refreshing.
He would still probably drive the old beat up car.
Oh, he might still do that, but as far as running the Cardinals,
what he can do for that.
Yeah.
But I mean, he held on to the end when he started turning it over to Michael. Is where you started seeing some of those food stuff going away.
Yeah, he definitely started handing it over to Michael because he was getting up there in age, and he just didn't have the same type of capacity to carry the day-to-day.
But Michael's the one that started modernizing it a little bit. And I'll say this about Michael. I mean, I talk all the time about fans, and I'm one of them, where they just take away all this stuff, but they're operating on the side of increasing their wealth and things to that effect, like a business should do. Now, because I've been around so long and they're taking stuff away from me. It's kind of I'm kind of like old man yelling at the crowd. But he's doing the right thing for the business if you want to look at it that way, which is also disappointing because not supposed to go that rate. But we got Diamondbacks to talk, gentlemen. Let's take our break. Come on back. We got to talk this Tories teams not being prepared on July 20th, Coop.
Okay.
My guy does not like him some Torey Lovullo.
Unbelievable. Come on back, folks. Main event. We were talking about it earlier. Reports are now Cam Newton being laid off at ESPN as well. Never was a Cam Newton fan in terms of what he does on ESPN, but God, I love the way he dressed.
You said as well. Who else has been?
Karl Ravech.
That's a long time name.
He's been there forever. 93 was when he went there, but he just called the Monday night game. He did the home run derby on radio. Called the ESPN Monday night game. Phillies Dodgers just called that as well. Tom Pelissero, but that one kind of makes sense because, the NFL Network, ESPN merger, somebody has to go because Ian Rappaport and Schefter are staying. So he's kind of got wrapped up into that. And you know this as well as I do on layoffs. It comes down to money if you're overpaid compared to other guys.
I forgot about that. They're morphing the two, the NFL Network and ESPN. So they had some talent, on-air talent coming from there over here.
Yeah.
So, but to let go of Karl Ravech. I mean, Ravech wasn't just an NFL guy. I mean, he was a guy that could step in and do.
Well, he was their baseball voice. He became their baseball voice, but he could step in and do anything,
right.
And stuff like that. It is amazing. But I did see that here as well. But
you said since '93.
'93 was when Karl Ravech was there. Yeah, I just literally listened to him on that Monday night game, last night's Phillies Dodgers game, and then I was listening to him on the radio for the home run derby for that first part of it.
Trying to do some ciphering in my head. That's 33 years.
A long time.
Wow.
61 years old.
Yeah.
And gone. So we're seeing those reports out there as well. So from that perspective, Ryan Clark yesterday they pulled him off in the middle of a segment on NFL Live.
They got rid of Ryan Clark.
Wow.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Hey, let me tell you something. And this is the thing that I really appreciate about Ryan. I mean, he's very opinionated, and
for sure.
and he's not afraid to step on any issue. I mean, look, I know that Charles Barkley can be opinionated, and so it's been said, and that Charles is given a rope like none other.
Right.
But look, I whether I agreed with Ryan Clark or not, I appreciate the fact that he was not afraid to give his opinion and then give a rat's behind any heat that he got behind his opinion.
So that's actually I just ripped him all beginning of the show because that's actually what I hate about him the most.
Well,
again,
because I'm not tuning into an NFL Network site. I'm tuning in to listen to experts talk about NFL football, not the nonsense he brings into it from outside of the football world. That drives me nuts. But I'm there for a different reason.
Yeah, but the other thing that Ryan Clark would also say things I think to be controversial.
He could.
But he believes them. He believes them.
Well, number two, yesterday he's talking about Tom Brady's not what wasn't a generational talent.
Who said that?
Ryan Clark.
Yeah. Because they asked if Archie Manning was a generational talent, and he starts naming all these quarterbacks that aren't a generational, including Tom Brady.
Yeah. So it's like, are you?
I mean, that's just foolish there.
Right. Or you're saying it because you want to stir some things up in conversation. But anyway, it's fascinating how they make their decisions because Pat McAfee's making a ton of dough. But I've also read where his show is the biggest grossing show on ESPN.
It's not close.
And hey, if you're bringing in $50 million, I can pay you $10 million.
You guys know that as well as it, especially you, Coop. It's you guys know that. We've all been around radio long enough. You can be really good at what you do, but if the revenue doesn't come in behind you, you're not there any longer.
Coop, it's curious. I'm sure Channel 12 had layoffs through your tenure.
They did.
Were you ever rumored to maybe have to go look somewhere else, or were you always safe?
If I was, it never hit my ears.
Really? Okay. Okay.
It never hit my ears if I did. But
well, a lot of times you don't know ahead of time either. For sometimes you find out, but a lot of times you do not. But I don't know. It's just fascinating how they're doing that. And the other thing that's fascinating to me is Diamondbacks lose to the Athletics last night. But I want to talk about this because I got two local geniuses here with me, and this stuff drives me nuts. So I want you guys to talk me off of this ledge. Vittori. So you watched the Cardinals series Friday night. They get back from the All-Star break. Barossa gets thrown out as a pinch runner on first.
Sure.
They're in the ninth. Sewald gets left in there, gives up the runs, and everything. And then Ketel Marte's at the plate. 2 challenges. Ball questionable. Doesn't even look to challenge after the game. Ketel Marte goes in front of the media and goes, I just was confused by the pitch. And, every excuse in the book. So I was like, all right. Ketel just wasn't in the moment. We all know Ketel gets out of the moment from time to time. That's what happened. It's frustrating as all heck. That shouldn't happen, but it's what Ketel does. I moved on from it. And then last night happens.
Well, you forgot they won the next 2 games against.
Yeah, well, it doesn't fit his point.
No.
Coop.
Yeah, no, that's not the point. Coop.
Yeah.
Okay.
My point is Friday disaster 9th inning on top of that and everything. Then last night happens. Did you watch the game last night, Coop?
I most certainly did.
The first challenge I get, the batter, I forget who it was off the top of my head here. I'll find it in a second. Looks at the dugout. They don't honor the challenge at that point, right? That was Vargas.
That was, yeah.
Vargas,
Vargas.
so they don't honor. I understand that. The batter messed up. That happens in the game.
But I'm going to tell you something. The problem that I had in that game, if you want to get into challenges,
Okay.
You had Gabriel Martinez. Gabriel Moreno was at the plate.
Mm-hmm.
3 balls, 2 strikes on him. You had Perdomo at first base. Perdomo steals second, and you're going to run on a 3-2 pitch anyway.
Mm-hmm.
And the catcher, Hildebrand, he threw it into center field, and so Perdomo gets up and make it to third.
Mm-hmm.
And so the umpire called it a ball 4. So you should have runners at first and third now.
Yes.
But they allowed the catcher to challenge, and it was a strike 3.
Yes.
Look, you only get, they say that 2-second rule.
Yes.
The dude already threw the ball into center field.
Yes.
The guy who got up, Perdomo got up and went to third. He should have denied the catcher that opportunity. Now I'm going to have runners at first and third
100%.
and 1 out instead of a runner at third and 2 out.
Umpires have the discretion. So I agree with that. But
if you want to get into challenges, I
well, no, we can do that even. We can talk that one, but that's not on the Diamondback side. That's on an umpire letting somebody challenge after a play happens instead of before, right? But then you have Ryan Waldschmidt up at the bat in the 9th, and he doesn't challenge at that point. This is all my point.
But that's not on the manager. The manager can't make the call. Only the way I understand it, only the batter, catcher, or pitcher.
Well, that's why the Vargas one wasn't allowed, because he looked at the dugout, and then that's perceived as you're looking at the dugout open. Yeah.
Again, but that's on that's on the hitter.
So let's listen to Tori here on what happened last night. Keep in mind the Marte non-challenge on that.
Okay.
What I'm arguing here, Coop, I'll just give you a preview. These players don't know when to challenge and not when to challenge in the 9th inning. And we're in July 20th, and players are making these mistakes in 2 games in less than a week. And then Tori goes to the podium.
Okay, hit play, and then I'll give you my
then Tori goes to the podium to talk about it. Here he is discussing the non-allowed challenge, the non-challenge there in the 9th. Here he is.
It was in the gray area of him looking up into the dugout. I think the umpires, and we knew this. The umpires
this is the Vargas
instructed
one.
If there's any connection to the dugout, it's an immediate, elimination of him being able to challenge. So it's supposed to be done with intent, immediately following the call. And there was a little bit of a pause with the glance into the dugout, and that's why he couldn't do it.
And then on Ryan Waldschmidt's last at bat, looked at that first pitch. I think was the first or second pitch, a couple inches off the plate, and he didn't challenge when he still had 1 left.
We did. We got to be better at it. I know our percentage is at or near the top in the league, but there are some very critical moments where we have not challenged, and it's an instinctual play. And I think the hitters are still getting used to it. To be honest with you, I think Marte, I think he made the comment that he just lost focus, like a little bit of a brain cramp, that type of thing, when the other day, and that happens. We're still getting used to it, but we could be better at it, and we're going to continue to work at it.
It's July 20th, and we're still getting used to it, Coop.
Well,
Dale.
But Steve,
July 20th. We're still getting used to this.
Here's the deal. We already know that only the batter, the pitcher and the catcher can challenge. If the batter is not smart enough or focused enough, I shouldn't say smart enough, focused enough.
Yes, they're not in the moment.
To make, I'm not putting that on Torrey. When I played ball, and again, I'm not trying to say I was a professional. I wasn't. I know Dale Hellstray was, but I think it's all relative. Dude, I consider myself a student of the game. I got my head in the game. I don't need to look at a coach to say should I or should I. Look, I know the rules. Vargas is what he's a
the Vargas one. I'm not attacking.
He's like a 13-year veteran.
The Vargas one, I'm not attacking.
He already knows the rules. Don't look in there, dude.
I know.
Don't. And so if there's an issue, and look, I'm all about saving at least one challenge for the 9th inning.
Yeah, but they're not using them.
And I think the people who utilize it the best that I've seen on the Diamondbacks are Gabby Moreno and Geraldo Perdomo. Those are the two that I have seen that strategically.
But shouldn't the rule be? Should the rule be in the 9th inning if you have a challenge yet and you're down in a game and you have people on and you get struck out or whatever, or the inning's over, you challenge it even if it's straight down the middle.
Why am I putting that on Torrey?
Okay, well that's
when we already know the manager can't do it. You can't, as a player, as a batter, you can't look into the dugout for that.
So I brought this up.
It has to be on the player.
So I brought this up to Dale on the coaching side. Big moment in games. Coaches reiterate stuff to you.
Yeah, and here's all I would say. And again, I'm not in that dugout. I don't know what goes on. But I'm telling you what, if I'm Torrey, bottom of the 9th, all right, I'm telling our guys, I'm looking up. I know, I've got it written down. We really got 1 or 2 challenges left. I'm going to remind them, just like the 2-minute drill. Yes, we work on it every Thursday, but still it's going to be reiterated to the team. Get out of bounds with the ball, and if we don't get out of bounds, you got to get up on the ball. That's all it said, just to reiterate one more time.
Well, here's the deal.
That's all I'm saying.
And here's the deal. They have other coaches in that dugout, like Jeff Bannister and Dave McKay. Now, this is what I heard post-game from Sunday when they rallied from 7 down. Those 2 coaches rallied the team, got them together, and gave them a little pep talk. And Perdomo said that ignited them. So my point is, if it's the 9th inning, I got got 3 veteran coaches there: McKay, Bannister, and Lovello. And if none of them are saying, "Hey guys, we got 1 challenge left," then okay, maybe that's that. But we don't know that.
Right, that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying this much. I don't need my coach to tell me that. I already know how many timeouts I have left in the game.
You would think.
I already know what the down and distance, what I'm down. Dale, these are professionals. And so Ryan Waldschmidt, I just think he's a rookie. He's just not.
Tell Marte is not.
No, he's not. I'm not making any excuses for him.
Yeah.
But the last out of the game was Waldschmidt. Now, Oakland successfully, I said Oakland. Well, the A's successfully challenged a ball 4 and was actually strike 3, games over.
Yeah.
But the pitch before, I think the first pitch in that at bat, it was a ball that was inside and they called a strike. Yeah. That's where Waldschmidt can make that. But
that's all I'm saying though is we don't know if they did tell the players when they had a brain fart or whatever. My problem is, by the way, Bob Nightingale has more insight on his newsletter this week. If you don't subscribe to that, you should. On that Sunday conversation that you were talking about, I was going to tell you, Bob Nightingale, look at his newsletter, folks. It's fascinating what he's got. But that's my point here. It's July 20th, 9th inning issues here on July 20th, and Torrey's like, oh, we got to get better at this. Oh, we're still getting used to it. You're not getting used to it. Whether you're not telling the players just to reiterate it to them in the heat of the moment, people get foggy in the heat of the moment. There's obviously something going on here, and they could have told them, and the players did mess up. Maybe they didn't reiterate it to them, and the players still messed up. Maybe something like that. That's all I'm saying. It's July 20th, and it's the standard.
Coop.
It's the standard thing going on. We got to get better.
Okay, so both of you guys, I've played the game for a long time, and I've coached the game for a long time.
Which were you better at?
Maybe coaching. Well, I only won 2 championships coaching. But here's what I was going to tell you. Here's what's interesting, because I was a guy who was aware of the situation. whether it's basketball, whether it was football. I was aware, but the guy next to me might not be. He's a hell of a right guard, but he's not mentally aware. And so all I'm going to say is, like, when I coach, and I'm talking about high school, not in the professional level, you have to go over just about everything. You have to reiterate things because people, especially in the heat of the moment, will forget. That's why I'm wondering, bottom of the ninth, you have a challenge or 2 challenges left, and you're standing right there as a manager. Each one of those guys are going either to home plate or to on deck. Hey, remember, we got a challenge. Remember, we got a challenge if we need it. Whether that helps or not, I don't know. And maybe it's being done. And we're all, man, Steve's making a big deal out of nothing.
No, that's the unknown question that we don't have the answer to.
My point is this.
It's July 20th.
Well, my point is this, and I see, I'm going to disagree with Steve.
July 20th.
I got 3 veteran coaches. I mean, guys that have over 20, 30 years of coaching experience. Jeff Bannister, Dave McKay, and then there's Torey Lovullo. And if they aren't reiterating this or something like that, then that could.
Who's
be
the hitting coach? Bannister?
Bannister's the bench coach.
He's bench coach.
Who's the hitting coach?
I don't know. Guy, it's some guy you've never heard of.
No, I've heard him.
No, I'm talking about normal people. I haven't heard of him.
The hitting coach.
But here's my problem.
It doesn't matter. But one of those guys, Torey should give if Torey's got his mind going every which way, then you give that one. You have the get back coach in football.
That's where the bench coach.
So you give it to McKay and say, McKay, you tell everybody.
Well, but I gotta believe that they are. But even if they aren't, that's why I have a problem, Dale. I have a problem with the player.
Yeah,
I have a problem with the player.
I'm not saying the players aren't messing up, but I'm saying this is indicative. Here's my bigger problem. And by the way, this is why NFL head coaches who call plays constantly on their play sheet, they have what to do with under 2 minutes to go.
Sure.
Timeout here, no timeout in this time frame. You know why they put that on that sheet? It's because they've been calling plays for hundreds of years. But because in the heat of that moment, they can get distracted or forget or make a blunder, so they have it on the sheet. At 1:15, we call a timeout if this is happening. There's a reason you have those reiterations. But my problem is this. It happened on Friday night. Now it's happened last night.
Well,
so Friday night, okay, maybe it was just a blip. Ketel Marte got foggy, whatever. Then don't you put in the procedures at that point to where it shouldn't happen again 3 nights later? That's my point here. You're not fixing the error from Friday night last night.
Well, see, in between Friday and Monday, you had this comeback from 7 down. So that was get this, their major league leading 30th comeback win.
Yeah.
So something's happening late that's positive for the team. Mm-hmm. And again, all I want to say on the challenges deal, I put that 100% on the player. I do. I put it 100% on the player because I already know, and I think most fans know, there's only 3 people who can challenge a call.
Yeah, pitcher, catcher, batter. But
I'm not saying the players aren't at fault. I'm saying this happened Friday,
Torey Lovullo's name
and it happened last night, and it wasn't fixed.
Well, now we're talking 2 different players. See, I don't know what.
But you talk to everybody. Hey guys, in the ninth inning, when you're up to bat, you're the last batter, and the last ball's a strike. You can challenge it.
Why doesn't it ever happen to Gabby Moreno or Geraldo Perdomo?
Well, you're proving my point even farther.
So okay. So
you have to remind certain players. Some players you don't. Some players you have to remind.
No. There's some players who have a better focus.
100%.
And a better mentality.
100%.
I could tell somebody, hey, hold on to the ball.
Well,
and
Chris Webber in that Michigan game was told we have 0 timeouts when he left that thing. And what did he do? He called timeout.
So again, for Wall
that's what I'm saying. It's the heat of the moment to where it happens.
I'll excuse Waldschmidt in this case because he's a rookie. I'm not excusing Ketel Marte.
That's just all my conversation. It's just then Torey saying.
Then to listen to his post game stuff. I mean, come on, dude.
July 21st.
Just excuses.
We got to get better. And he's got to say that to media. He's got to protect his player. But I'm just tired of hearing we're going to get better. Are you?
Yeah, they are.
Are you? Well, they didn't from Friday to last night on the same error.
Well, here, and I don't know if this is a Mike Hazen issue. See, I'm switching. Flip,
Oh, I was going to say, now you're going to the GM?
No, I'm flipping deal. They have this pitcher named Jose Cabrera, who, I mean, I heard the guy has like 7 different pitches.
Yeah.
He's
got movement.
So his last start before they moved him down before the All-Star break, he's only given up 1 run. He's in the 5th inning, but he makes rookie mistakes. There was a comebacker to him with a runner at second base and 1 out. It came back to him. And instead of taking the out at first, because the runner was going back to second, he threw to second. The runner's safe at second. Now you got first and second and 1 out. So then his next pitch, he balks. So runners are at second and third. So now the infield comes in and he gives up a little bleeder and now 2 runs scored. But this guy has been impressive. And so they're throwing Mitch Bratt again last night. And he threw him the week before. Bratt doesn't even come close to having the same kind of stuff that Cabrera has. And his pitch count, he doesn't get past the 3rd inning because he's thrown like 90 pitches, and I'm just exaggerating. He's thrown 90 pitches in 3 innings, but his pitch counts. So to me, if I'm a manager or GM, I'm going to play the pitcher that gives me the best chance to win.
I agree.
It's not Bratt.
Yeah, it's a whole nother conversation.
It's Cabrera.
Yeah.
And so now they're throwing tonight Cole Drake. Now, Bratt and Drake are 2 players they got in the Merrill Kelly trade a year ago to the Texas Rangers. Now, I don't know what kind of stuff Cole Drake has, but I've seen enough of Matt Bratt to know that, hey, my eye test tells me that should be Cabrera. And it's not. And so, again, if you want to talk about giving your team the best chance to win, dude, it's also a personnel decision. You got to have the right people up here, too. So
that's a whole nother conversation.
Like I said, I don't know if that's a Mike Hazen deal or not.
That's a Hazen deal.
But here's the deal. That's a mistake. That's a mistake.
Yeah, I don't disagree. It's an infuriating mistake, but they keep doing it, which is kind of what infuriates me. It's July 21st. We're still getting used to the challenging.
We still haven't gotten past the trading deadline.
Well,
Monday,
August
3rd.
I don't look.
Are they buying?
This, he says he is.
Throw up the NL wild card really quick while Bruce is talking.
And look, and the Diamondbacks are still only a half game out because everyone that they're chasing lost last night as well.
Yeah.
There's a chance for them to be in the playoffs right now, in that place where the position where the Cardinals are, the 3rd wild card team. But I'm just saying this: the Diamondbacks, they continue to do this, and Ketel Marte is beginning to drive me crazy. So is Corbin Carroll. I mean, they don't work a pitcher in a count like a Perdomo or a Moreno. They're up there swinging early.
First pitch.
And and they get in a hole, and then the book now on Corbin Carroll is you throw him high and he strikes out.
Yeah.
Ketel Marte is just, I mean, he's reaching and flailing at pitches. Dude, why?
He looks lost at times.
And so the Diamondbacks are not getting the type of production at the plate from their all-stars that they need to be. And that's why they are struggling so offensively. Their all-stars aren't playing, and to see Perdomo struggle so much like he does, now he's coming back to Perdomo. He is actually working. I mean, 10, 11, 12 pitches, if he doesn't get a hit, it's a walk. Gabby the same way. Come on, dude. I can't, and it's driving me crazy. I know who their hitting coach is, but his name.
I know. I can't remember. I can picture him right now. But I can't think of it. But it's not a name that a normal fan will just pull up top of his head.
You want to talk about repetitive or remind people? That's who these hitters need to be reminded of this fact.
Well, they were really good at that the last couple of years of working pitchers.
Yeah,
and what was that? When they went against Paul Skeens, they swung at every first pitch, and the guy threw like 20 pitches through 7 innings. I know I'm exaggerating, because they just went after that side. One thing I want to do before we take off, that's a Diamondback, issue. It's just, like I said, mistakes happen. I get it, and you can criticize it all you want. But Friday and last night, same late game error. It's concerning to me.
Joe Mather.
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 That's exactly who it is. That's exactly what it is.
We got to give props. Nolan,
And he's a veteran.
Nolan Arenado last night, sixth player in MLB history with 2,000 hits, 350 plus home runs, 10 plus Gold Gloves.
Sixth player?
Sixth player. I was just going to
There-
ask
there-
you without
there's
looking.
more than 6 players who have. There's guys who've hit.
No, 2,000 hits, 350
Active.
home runs, 10 plus Gold
Oh,
Gloves.
Dale said active.
Yeah.
No, because Ken Griffey Jr. is on this list.
No, no.
2,000
no.
hits, 350 home runs, and 10 Gold Gloves
Oh.
is this list.
Oh, you're talking about
Got to
that
listen
list.
to them all.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, well, okay.
Name them all. I told you Ken Griffey Jr. Name the other ones.
They said there's how many? 6?
Well, he's the sixth, so
He's
there's
the
5 others.
Okay, so you
Ken
already.
Griffey Jr.
Good one.
I want to say Mike Schmidt
Yes, he's one of them.
because he's. And you got to think of guys who are great defensive players.
You'll
Oh,
know 2 other ones. The fifth one, I'm not sure you're gonna know.
I'm not sure what his glove was like.
What about
And
Brooks
then
Robinson?
I'm gonna say Freddie Freeman.
Nope. Nobody active.
Oh,
Oh, nobody active.
Nope, these guys are all old guys.
Okay.
The guys you left are old guys.
George Brett.
No, actually, no. Yep. I'll just tell you, Willie Mays Hayes.
Wait, no, you see, you're giving us away. No,
Well,
I
I'm
said
giving
no.
it away. All right, I'll give you
All
that
right,
one because
all
that
right.
one's easy.
All right, so you
But
got.
I'm giving you a hint here. Willie Mays, so you got to think of another old timer guy, and one you're not going to get. There's 2 more guys.
Oh, it's 2 more guys. So it must be an outfielder.
No, not at all.
Oh, I've already said Mike Schmidt.
You sit on one. Sit on one of these.
350 home runs.
Yeah, this is the shocker to me.
Okay, I'm going to say.
you sit on a sofa or chair.
Okay, I'm going to say.
Seat.
When you get
Was he a first baseman?
no.
Oh, rats.
No, you sit on this, Dale. When you get pulled from a game, you go and do what?
Oh, Johnny Bench.
Johnny Bench.
Yeah.
Johnny Bench. No
That one
kidding.
surprised me. I didn't realize he was quite. I knew he was a good hitter. I didn't know he was that level. The other guy that's on that list is Al Kaline.
Al
Kaline?
Kaline.
Al Kaline.
I've never heard of him.
Oh, I
Yeah, he
know
was with the
very
Detroit Tigers.
You old timers would know that one.
Yeah.
Yeah,
played-
no kidding.
But he joined that level of guys last
They
night.
said only 6 have had. Say that again.
2,000 hits, 350 plus home runs, and 10 plus Gold Gloves.
That gum.
Yeah, for that level. Yeah, the 2,000 hits, a lot of guys have done
Yeah.
that and stuff. But no, and he's the first Diamondback since who to get his 2,000 hit. Now, I always laugh at those stats because he obviously had a lot of those hits in Colorado, before he went to
So
the Cardinals.
there's another Diamondback that
that
got
has
career hit number 2,000.
2,000, yep, with the Diamondbacks.
Well, the longest guy has been Gonzo.
Yep, it was Gonzo in 2004. I got it that year
Huh.
as well. Yep. Luis
Son of
Gonzalez,
a gun.
2004.
I didn't get any of those right. That
So,
gun.
6th active player with just 2,000 hits. Name those guys really quick.
6 active. Well,
Yes.
uh,
You named one of them earlier. I'll give you that. Freddie Freeman.
okay, Freddie Freeman.
So, you
6.
got to name 5
So
guys
there's
with
6
2,000
active right now.
Yep.
Oh, son of a gun. All right, so there's Freddie Freeman's active. Geez.
Dale's like, I don't even know who's playing right now.
You got to think old guy. Okay.
They've been around for a long time if they have 2,000 hits.
I think Jose Altuve.
Yes,
had-
he's one of them.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, so that's 2. So that's
That's a good pull right there.
How
kid.
many more we got?
Yeah. You need 3 more.
Dad, gum.
See, Jose Altuve, I thought would be the struggle, to be honest with you. Another guy might be a struggle because he played on a team that's not very good, so he kind of got buried. Yeah.
6 active.
Yep. You need 3 more.
Gosh. Let's see here. I need another old guy. Oh, I know. He played with the Orioles. Manny Machado.
Yeah, Manny Machado.
Manny.
Yeah.
Manny Machado.
But even though he's sucking this year, so you got 2 more.
He's with the Padres. Now.
Yeah, you got 2 more.
2 more.
One of them plays for the Yankees. I'll just give you that hint.
One
Not
of them
Judge.
is playing for the Yankees.
He's playing for the
Judge.
Yankees right now, and everybody wanted him in Arizona.
Goldie?
Goldie's
No
on
freaking way. Goldie
Yeah.
has 2,000 hits.
2,000 hits.
Oh, I wouldn't have got that.
Then the last one, like I said, he played on a really bad team for a lot of years, so he kind of got buried. But a great player in this era, but just got buried because he played for a
Played for a
terrible
bad team
team in the Midwest.
in the Midwest. Chicago Cubs?
No, did he? He might have gone to the Cubs, but he was
Cleveland
known more.
Indians?
He was known more for another team.
Midwest.
The Royals?
Nope.
Midwest.
Okay.
They're over the sea. They're out in the sea there. I watched them play. I watched them in the Odyssey this weekend. Dale, come on.
What the heck? Who watches the Odyssey?
Nah.
Gosh darn it. All right, wait. Give us a team. Give us a team.
Well, he's now he's currently with Texas. I just looked it up
Texas Rangers.
just to tell you where he's at. Yes. Played for the Braves for a little bit, as well.
Dang.
Mm,
Hold on.
Played for the Brewers. Played for the Phillies. I'm not giving you his main team because it'll be obvious then, I think. But he was with the Pirates.
Wow. So this guy's currently with the Texas Rangers.
Yes. Look at Coop's knowledge here.
Dang.
Do
Currently
do
with
do
the-
do
All right,
do
hold
do.
on. Currently with the Texas Rangers.
All right.
Think
Enough.
Pittsburgh back in the day. I know we're gonna sit here all day.
Wait a second. Just give me.
So, Dale, how was your vacation? Fill us in on that really quick here as we talk. I'm gonna give it to you in 5 seconds.
And he's oh, I know. Andrew McCutcheon.
Andrew McCutcheon.
Is that right?
Go ahead.
Well, when he said the Pirates, and now that was the key that got me.
Well, that's why I didn't want to give you the Pirates because to me, when I think Pirates, I think Andrew McCutcheon. Yeah,
No kidding.
obviously I think Skeens now, but in terms of hitting guys and stuff like that, I think of McCutcheon. So to me, if you would have said Pirates to me, I would have been like, get McCutcheon.
Yeah.
But Goldie's on that list too. That kind of surprised me as well.
I thought Goldie had Goldie. Where did he get career number 2,000?
It must have been in St. Louis is what I'm going to guess.
Jeez.
Because I would have heard
I
about
missed
it.
that.
Yankee. I watched a lot of Yankees games. I think I would have heard about it then. But come on, Dale, you didn't know any of those?
All right, it's overtime. I don't think it's overtime.
We'll see you tomorrow, everybody. Bruce Cooper, as always, thanks for joining us, man. Always fun with you. And Dale, yeah, standard show.
Whatever.
You put effort in.
Yeah.
See you tomorrow, everybody.
Those